Oh, hi everyone, and welcome back to my podcast. I am so happy to be here, guys. So, I'm Ari, I'm a French Thai girl doing a podcast in English just to practice English because I studied at university. So, this is my introduction, and today's episode, well, that was really fast. Today's episode is about growing up and discovering yourself, and it's quite an important topic for me today because I just turned 24. I still can't believe it because for me 24 was such a big number. I always thought that I remember well when I was 16, I thought that when I turn 24 I will have a job, I will have my own flat, I will have money, I will this is clearly not my reality today, okay? So yeah, I was this kind of person who used to plan everything, and maybe this is an anxious trait of mine. Is that English saying it this way? Anyway, so I just wanted to share with you guys my experience about growing up. Okay, so just grab a a cup of tea, and let's get into it. Okay. As far as I remember, I've always been the girl, in class who already knew what kind of job she wanted to do. Like, I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be an actress, then I wanted to be a journalist, then I wanted to be a psychologist, a teacher. Like, I had so many dreams and so many projects that I can't even list all of them. That was crazy, and I was always looking for, I don't know, universities, schools to go to after high school, I wanted to be a pastry chef too. I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I was full of ideas, okay? And I do remember that I had this specific script inside of my head, okay? Like, when I was at the end of high school, like the last year of high school in France, you have to ask for universities and majors, and I asked for linguistic and Russian literature, language and civilization. Don't ask me why. Or maybe you can ask me why, but maybe I'm gonna talk about it later because I'm still struggling with this language. Oh god, I think it was created by Satan. But anyway, I just love challenges. I just love struggling because at the end, it's not the result, it's just the journey, like you are always proving yourself that you are able to do something. Anyway, this is not the topic of today. Let's focus, let's lock in, okay? So, I do remember that when I was at university, the first year when I was 18, it was during COVID. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was actually 6 years ago. 6? It was 6 years ago. COVID was 6 years ago. Okay, I'm feeling old. So we were doing virtual classes. Okay, so it was very hard for me to focus because I have a very small capacity of focusing. I am always drifting, So I think I lasted 2 months at university. I dropped everything, and I started to work in an organic food shop, grocery store, in France, and I worked there for 1 year, I think, and then after that I tried to do a BTS, which is like a diploma. I don't know what's the equivalent in English. You can just look for it on your computer, okay? But yeah, so I wanted to do management, so I did a bit of management, but it was very hard for me because you had a few days at school and few days at work. It was school and work at the same time, and it was a roaster coffee shop. Sorry, it's for my hair. And it was very hard for me because it was only me and my manager, and she had such a curious way of managing, actually. And as you may remember, I was still not diagnosed with bipolar disorder. If you haven't seen this episode yet, I'm becoming a professional YouTuber right now, okay? So, yeah, I was struggling with depression at this time because it was after a awful breakup. Let's say the worst breakup in my life. So I was depressed. I lasted 4 months, I think, and then I just moved out. I moved back to my parents' house because I was like a zombie, actually. I stayed at my parents' house for 6 months, and for healing, for resting, for thinking about my future. And I was very anxious about that. I was like, oh my gosh, but what's the point of everything if I don't have any projects, any ideas? And at the same time, I was witnessing something. I was looking at my friends on social medias succeeding on studies, like they were at university, they were graduating, they were slaying their exams, and they had like the wonderful student life. You know what I mean? Like they were hanging out, they were having fun, they were managing everything, and me, I was there and I was depressed in my bed in my parents' house at 20 years old, and I was like, oh my gosh, my life is screwed. It was not. I'm just dramatic as hell, okay? And so what I wanted to say, yeah, I felt like I was behind. I felt like everybody knew what life was, and I didn't. I was like, shit, everyone. When do we have to use everybody or everyone? I don't know, okay? English is not my first language. So, yeah, I had this feeling that I was failing. Like, oh, I was trying different thing and I still don't know what is my thing. What is the thing that I want to do, the thing that I love to do, the thing that I don't suffer from, So, yeah, because when I was 18, I thought I would be like Rory Gilmore. Okay, because I loved Rory, and actually I was very, very Rory coded at this time because I dropped university, I dropped my business school, I was in my parents' house, I was lost, I was depressed, I was crying. It's at the time that I bleached my hair. So it was really, really mentally complicated for my person, okay? Then I had a barista training near Bordeaux, and so I was living at my sister's flat at this time. So I did my barista training for a week, and then I found a job as a barista, and it was one of my dreams, I would say, to be working at a coffee shop. Actually, it was not a coffee shop, it was a shop combined with skater, surfer, furniture shop. Yeah, it was quite messy. It was not like a proper coffee shop, as you may know. So I did that. I was working in a brunch restaurant as a barista part-time, and then in the kitchen as well for a year. And then at this moment I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a pastries chef. I want to have my own coffee shop, and I want to be able to do pastries. I don't eat sugar. I don't like to eat pastries. I am no. When I think about it, I'm like, are you stupid? You do not love eating sugar. Why the hell do you want to do pastries? Anyway, so I was thinking about that. Then I quit this job. I work in another branch, and I was a barista there. And it was really cool because I was creating the drinks, I was creating the menu, I was hanging out with my colleagues, I was getting along with my bosses. It was incredible working there, it was really fun. But I had some health issues because, as I said, at this time I was diagnosed bipolar, but we had to find the right percentage of lithium in my blood, and I was overdosed, so I was trembling. I still tremble sometimes because we still don't know how much I need actually. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to drop, and I stopped working for a few months, if I remember well. Then I started to work to another coffee shop, and it was lame. It sucked. Like there were no clients. I was alone. I was alone behind the bar. I was there. I do remember I was there standing reading my book because I had nothing else to do. Everything was cleaned, and my bosses were working on the laboratory doing cakes, and I tried the cakes because they wanted me to taste it, but I pretended that I liked it, but actually I didn't like it because I don't eat sugar. Okay, so I quit again because I got another depression. So I quit, and I was looking for a school for pastries because I stayed on this idea for a long time. Okay, I was like, I'm gonna be a pastry chef, or I'm gonna have my coffee shop. Anyway, I was deluded as fuck, and then I worked in another coffee shop, tea salon. I don't know how you call it, but yeah, they were selling cookies. It was great, but then he fired me because he couldn't pay me because I was too expensive. Yep. Actually, so I was lost again, and I was 23. I was living with my ex-boyfriend. Oh my gosh, I do remember I was weighting my weight, like I was heavy for what I used to be, because I used to be always not skinny, but yeah, wow, I am 1 meter. I am 1 meter 70, 1 meter 69, something like that, and I've always been like around 55 kilograms, 53. I don't know. Oh yeah, trigger warning for the eating disorders. Sorry. And at this time I was 1 meter 70 and 75 kilograms, so 20 kilos more that I used to be, and I am back to, I think I am 58 right now. But anyway, so it was very complicated for me because I was always struggling with my appearance, with my body, growing up, and as a woman we have a lot of pressure about this. So yeah, I was not feeling well. I was not in the best relationship, and again, at the same time, I saw everybody on social media getting their life together, being happy, being in healthy relationship, figuring out life, traveling, doing all that stuff, and I was there again behind, and it was quite frustrating for me because I had all these dreams, I had all these projects, and I felt like I was stuck somewhere. Then I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. I moved back to my flat. Yeah, my old flat. That is my flat today. I talked to my friends again, and I was feeling way better. And then I was like, shall I go back to university? Is it too late to go back to university? Because if I go back to university, I'll be like 5 years older than everybody. So I was quite nervous about that, but I always loved English. I've always loved literature, civilization. I did a literature pathway in high school, in France, which means that we were learning about philosophy, we were learning about languages. I had a lot of hours in Spanish, in English, in history, all that stuff, and I was very passionate about that. So it was like logical for me to go back in this pathway. And I remember my old sister, she told me, bro, go, just go. So I did, and now I am so grateful that I did it, even if I am old. Because who made the rules? Who told us that we had to graduate at a certain age, that we had to be an employee somewhere at a certain age, that if you were too young or too old, or I don't know? And my answer is, it was cool. It was cool. I think it's not the same for everyone, but in my middle school and high school, because it was in the same building, every fucking years we had like this teacher who was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a paper, you're gonna write down your name, your age, what's your parents' job, do you have siblings, and what do you want to do in your life? I am 14. I don't know. I don't even know how to pay taxes. What the fuck are you talking about a career? And so every year it was like that. So every year I was like, oh my gosh, I have to find the coolest job ever. So the teacher is gonna be like, oh, she is interesting. Yeah, because I had like some issues with my confidence and I wanted to be validated by people, which is not the case anymore. I don't give a fuck about what people think about me. So I mean, this is why I am posting videos on internet now, that I feel more confident about that. Anyway, so maybe you feel that way. Maybe you are watching this video and you may wonder, oh shit, I do feel behind. I see all of my friends having their driver license, studying, blah blah blah. I don't know what's going on in your life, bro. I'm just talking to my laptop right now, so I don't know what's going on inside your mind, but it is okay. And it is okay that you don't follow the script that you wrote for yourself, and that you change your mind and you change your direction, you know. And it may feel like a failure, like a fail. You may think like, oh, I failed again, oh, let's go back to the beginning again. But listen to me carefully, okay? Because I had this conversation before. You are not failing, because what you're doing right now is teaching you something that you never thought you would be taught about. You know what I mean? It's like it's always lessons, because experiences are lessons about life. Okay, it's like relationships. It's not because you break up with someone that this relationship was a waste of time. Nothing is a waste of time, okay? Except math classes, okay? Learning math, it is a waste of time, okay? No. Let's be serious a second. So, no, but more seriously, it is not failing. You are just experiencing life, and everybody does experience it. It's not because you see someone on social media as having like a perfect life as you imagine that they know everything, okay? They don't. They clearly don't. And everybody lives their life with their own rhythm. Everyone or everybody, I don't know which word to use. Just tell me down in the comments, okay? Because I don't know. But feeling frustrated, in my opinion, is great. And you may think, what the fuck is she talking about? She's being so cheesy. I am being cheesy, okay? Being frustrated is great because it proves that you want more. You want to upgrade yourself. that you want to improve yourself, that you want to go further, and this is interesting, okay? It's great, but don't transform the frustration into jealousy and violence, okay? We do not tolerate any kind of violence here, okay? It's not because you invite someone that you have to insult them or be bad with them, okay? They didn't ask anything, okay? Just take this frustration and this envy and invest in yourself and wow, and do something to improve yourself and to become the person that you want to be. Because actually, when I think about that, even if I at 18 I had this perfect script in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do 1 year at Toulouse, and then I'm going to do an Erasmus year, and then I'll come back, and then I'll have a master, and then I'm going to teach in, I don't know, I think I was thinking about UK schools to teach French to English people, blah 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 blah. Even if I didn't do that, and that I'm 24 now and I'm a first year at university, I am the person that I've always wanted to be. I am more confident. I am more sure about what I want to do. I have my standards. I live my life perfectly, and I am aligned with my person, and this is the greatest thing I've ever done. And yeah, I mean, it's not a race, okay? You don't have to be the first at something. The first of what? The first of what? Of buying a house? Dude, have you seen the economy right now? Do you think we can buy a house now? Anyway, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and be kind with yourself, and be aligned with yourself, aligned with your desire. And please just take a step back and question yourself, and be honest with yourself, and don't be scared about your answers. Don't be scared of disappointing people, okay? Especially you. Because I think that when you realize what you want to do and what kind of thing you want to do, you are more aligned, and you're gonna be kinder with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm such a cliche, but yes, be kind with yourself. Be respectful with yourself. I think I'm gonna do an episode about self-respect and how precious you are, and I know what I'm talking about, okay? Because I was very, very bad with myself. I was always judging myself. I was like, hey, look, this person is graduating, and you are here at your parents' house doing nothing. But yeah, bro, I needed to rest. I needed to heal. I needed time. And it takes some time for people to heal, okay? So yeah, if you feel like you are behind, or that you are not enough, or if like people are knowing life better than you do, you are completely wrong. Because nobody knows what life is exactly. I mean, for me, life is made to be experienced. Life is made to do mistakes. Life is made to success. To succeed? To success. Okay? So, it's completely okay to feel kind of frustrated and lost and wondering what's the point. But I promise that someday you'll understand what was the point of going through this episode. And you should be proud of yourself, because maybe you are too focused on the present and what you're struggling for right now. But if you look back, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe you are the person that you wanted to be back then. It's quite moralizing how I say it, but I do believe that being grateful for what you have, it's important, okay? And I think about something special about that, but I'm gonna do another episode about it, okay? And I mean, I'm gonna talk about all the regrets that we may have, but I have so many ideas for new episodes. But anyway, oh my god, it's been already 25 minutes. I'm gonna end right now. So, okay, be kind with yourself. You are just recalibrating your life. Okay, when you are lost, it is the time to question yourself and to align with your desires and with what you want to do. And it's completely like, okay, you are not late, you are not dumb, you are not stupid, you are not running out of time. You are completely okay. All right. Anyway, that's everything for today's episode. I hope you liked it. Thank you again, guys, for all your messages and all your comments on the first episode. I've never thought I will have so many feedbacks. I'm very grateful. Thank you all, and I hope you liked this episode and it was not that messy. I hope you identified this episode. Okay, I hope it was easy for you to understand what I was saying and to get my point. I promise I'll improve my English. Okay, I improve it. Okay, so see you guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just down below. Okay, have a great day, love you, and take care. Bye bye.